Hi everyone, welcome back to Mike on Mike. Let's check out the films that come out today and see if they're gonna pop or flop. Be checking out Mortal Kombat 2, and we'll also be checking out The Sheep Detectives. Okay, so here's the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. This is the second trailer. There might be a more final one. I don't know if I wasn't able to find it, but this is a long trailer too. 27 million views. Pretty cool. I think the first one had a lot of issues or something, remember? But overall, it was pretty entertaining. Okay, let's check this trailer out. 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
You want to know what makes a hero? It's not destiny. It's not something you're born with. It's searching for greatness.
Johnny Cage, you have been chosen for Mortal Kombat.
Then realizing you've had it in you this entire time.
Whoa! I really don't feel comfortable hitting a girl.
Don't worry. You won't.
Yo! Send me back. I want to go back.
The rules of the tournament are simple. Our fates would not be settled by the size of our armies. They would be decided by combat.
I'm not some great warrior. I'm not some champion.
This is a war for the fate of your world. Finish him!
Me?
Earth belongs to me.
We do not kneel!
Our only chance is to face this together.
Let's go, baby.
You, Johnny Cage, are a part of this now. It's showtime.
Get over here!
Johnny will definitely die.
Okay, well I mean, it looks like they're doing like definitely like, you know, the fight scenes when you're fighting on something, like on the at a map, whatever, you know. Some of the scenes that I always thought that what they should do, something like this is like when they do the fighting or whatever, they should have the camera go to the back and then both of the people fight like the game, like at least for a second or whatever, just to kind of, you know, so that it would be exactly like the game, because they do it in the comic book movies where they do a shot that's like, you know, the opening up the comic book, whatever, you know. So they do that, and they could easily do it here, I think. Oh, it has 27 million views. That's pretty good. Comments that people are saying about it. This guy says that music's still hitting after 31 years. The fact that the Get Over Here is still Ed Boon's voice is so good. A game character as a protagonist, a proper tournament, and Noob Saibot. That's cool. I think the first one, it was really cool. I'm not too familiar with the game, but I do know enough to get the references. So, but they did change a couple of things, as well as the big Cole Young thing, whatever. That was kind of an issue. I'm thinking honestly in this one, you can definitely hear Carl Urban's voice, whatever that he's doing. And I really feel like that is ultimately going to be the main focal point. And hopefully it just doesn't ruin or distract too much, but it seems like that's what's going to happen. He's going to distract too much and it already sounds sort of like he's butting up against what's his name, the British guy. Like, it's two funny people now. It's all this comedy, and it's like, you know, competing or whatever. So I don't know if that is supposed to actually sort of happen or not, or it was like by accident, because it seems, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be like you know, like two funny, like almost like a comedy battle, I guess. This one is almost 50, and I'm still like a kid getting excited about Mortal Kombat. Keeping Cole Young out of the trailer was smart. Yeah, I think that was, I don't know if the main issue, but definitely like an issue in the first one, because yeah, it was just weird, and it seems like they are listening, and what the result of that is that he's not in the trailer, which means possibly he's not in the movie, which possibly means he gets killed at some point. And this one says, rest in peace to the great Hiroyuki Tagawa. That's crazy. End of the movie, it's definitely going to say, this is for him. And they'll dedicate the whole movie. Maybe they'll, you know what they really should do? I wish they would do that, but they haven't done that, I guess, in some movies. But to put like a little montage of the person behind the scenes as like a farewell, you know, like a little montage for the person. Okay, so here is the IMDb page. So this movie is rated R, an hour and 56 minutes. Hopefully that is a good runtime. We'll check the first one after this maybe, and then we'll see if how long that one was. But that's pretty good. I'm not sure if, I don't know if 2.5 hours would be way too much or not. That'd be pretty wild to know, you know, what they thought about that. If they're gonna, I wonder if there's ever gonna be a director's cut or uncut version, you know, and if there's deleted scenes from these movies. Even, you know, just things of like other battles that they had, other characters, other fights. What they should do is film a lot, like, you know, a big movie, and then cut out the scenes, and then, you know, like basically film it on purpose so that they can do an extended cut and put all of those scenes back in. And that can be a backup plan if this movie doesn't perform well, and they could use that to kind of make up the rest of the money. And then they'll, like the Snyder cut versus the Whedon cut, whatever, that was just so terrible. The Justice League. So this is a dark fantasy, martial arts, super fantasy film, action, adventure, fantasy, and sci-fi as well. Plot is the fan favorite champions, now joined by Johnny Cage himself, are pitted against one another in the ultimate battle to defeat the dark rule of Shao Kahn that threatens the very existence of the Earth realm and its defenders. Currently has 7.1 stars. It is directed by Simon McCoy. Yeah, so he did the first one, and so let's see, the night. Oh, he actually doesn't have much. Wow, that's so insane. I think that they are planning to do a third one or something. They already have the third one approved or whatever, and they're probably already in some type of pre-production, if not already filming it, which is going to be pretty cool that they've whipped out a pretty fast sort of a trilogy in a way. And yeah, maybe, you know what's really funny? Do you think this could have also worked as a mini series, but like a movie? So they could do 6 movies or 8 movies, but they're just 1 hour high quality episodes, you know, like 8 mini 1 hour movies, and then it tells an overall story. And it's also written by this Jeremy Slater guy, and he did, wow, Moon Knight, all 6 episodes, The Exorcist, The Umbrella Academy, 36 episodes, Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire, Death Note, Pet, Fantastic Four. Oh my God, really? That's not good to have on the old resume. And then the Lazarus Effect also, he produced all of a few of those. That's pretty awesome. Upcoming, he has, wow, he also worked on Coyote vs. Acme, Thread, and Insidious Tale, and They Found Us, which is in development. He completed, yeah, that one's completed. And Thread and Insidious Tale is in pre-production. Boone also wrote it. He's an American video game developer and voice actor from Chicago. He created Mortal Kombat and Injustice, nice, by Midway NetherRealm. Pretty awesome. Let's see what else he's done. Rambo versus Johnny Cage, Mortal Kombat Legends, Cage Match. Wow, yeah, he's probably all involved with that. Death Battle also. Oh, that's cool. And then he did DBX. I think that's Dragon Ball. No, I don't know. I don't know about that. And then Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Wow, it's just heavy video game experience. That's so cool. And John Tobias helped write it as well. Let's see what he's done. He did the first one and the 1995 one and the 1997 one. So he is he's done a lot of kind of a mix of stuff. Series, video games, TV series, video games. Super awesome though. Mortal Kombat 4. Heavy Mortal Kombat experience. All right, and then the actors that are in it. Wow, that is so cool. I really feel like, I hope that they do this shot, which I saw from the side shot, like the video game, you know, like the actual game. They should try to do that as much as they can, as well as, you know, if they're not going to do that, at least linger on those shots at the beginning or the end of the fight, so that it does mimic the game. Because, I mean, like what's it called? The Ang Lee's Hulk in 2003 or whatever. That movie looks like a comic book, and it's based off a comic book, right? Does that make sense? Like, if they ever make a Grand Theft Auto movie, it needs to have things of like the game, you know, like feelings. Like, remember in Doom, remember when they do a point of view game sequence, like you're playing it? I don't know why they don't try to do things like that. Like, even like, you know, a third person top down camera angle of the character, like you would play it in a video game. And I feel like they need to do that. There must be a reason why they don't do that, but they should definitely start. And this game was definitely making me think that they're going to be doing things like that. And yeah, it looks very pretty though. The lightning graphics are so insane. And this guy, I think Baraka, right, or something. Dude, that his costume and all of that looks really awesome. Do you think that they're blending actual makeup or whatever and like a graphics over it maybe or something? Like with Spider-Man, he is like wearing a real suit, but they throw something over it to soften him, right? Maybe that's to blend him in with the CGI. Even Superman has his cape is added later, usually. Okay, so here are all the actors. I really feel like this, I keep saying it, I think this is going to really hinge and focus on Carl Urban's performance as Johnny Cage. I feel like I don't know. I think it's because, which sucks, is that Hollywood is doing all this stuff. So they have, I don't know why, but they think they have to pick stars to lead these roles. Like, would the whole Marvel thing from Iron Man to Endgame, would it have worked without Hollywood people? Like, if they cast people who you've never heard of, which they've done before, right? David Cornsweet wasn't a big name before he hit Superman, which is widely known, you know. So he was in whatever, Pearl, and he was in a TV show, whatever. So he's not very known, and he gets cast as Superman because I guess he kind of looks like he looks like a good Superman. So I'm not sure why like if they picked with Superman, right? They would have picked, you know, Timothy Chalamet, right? Or they would have picked whoever's popular right now. Like all of these people who, yeah, it's very strange. And I feel like they need to stop. They need to cast the person that would have worked well. Like another good example is, what's his name? Tom Cruise in the Reacher, Jack Reacher. I don't know if it was, but it seems like they said, oh, Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher would be cool. Okay. Well, guess what? Jack Reacher is a really big character. And if they had checked around and casted people, Alan Richardson, whatever his name is, would have arrived and said, hey, you look like Reacher. You're going to be cast. And then they did that later on. So, and Alan Richardson, he's not even very known either. He's like slightly, but he's not like Tom Cruise or Johnny Depp or, you know, Carl Urban, I guess, you know, whatever. So, you know, more widely known, you know, like Timothy Chalamet, you know, whatever. And it also, I guess, coincides with the fact that there either are rumors or it has been confirmed that a lot of these castings, whatever, are based off of your followers. And even if you don't look like the character, for the most part, if you have enough followers or whatever, that will get you a role just based off of that, which is like, it's so stupid because it's not fair, I guess, technically. And let's see who else is in it. Let's see. So yeah, it's like Kano. That's the guy's name. It's also hard. A lot of the names are kind of tough too, but I feel like, well, 3C, you know, Chris, he was saying on his interview, or his review yesterday or today, whatever, that he thinks that Kano and Johnny Cage kind of bump into each other with the humor. And that seems like that could be a thing. But the other thing too, I just thought of is that does create conflict, right? Maybe it's not in that way, but that could create conflict, which is needed in a movie. You can't have everybody get along. If they're supposed to get along, they need to get along by the third movie, or else they didn't learn anything. There's no character arc. None of them grow or learn. And then here are the rest of the people all down here. Pretty cool. See, again, though, now they cast certain people. Like this guy could be The Rock, right? For Baraka. Dwayne the Baraka Johnson. That's funny. But he would have been cast, or Dave Bautista, right? And then this guy would be, you know, whatever. You know, certain people. This guy would be Timothy Chalamet or something, right? And that could have been what happened. They could have cast like Angelina Jolie, Queen Sindel, right? Like they could have done that. And even if the story and they did everything that happened in the first one, would the cast being different have affected it at all? Right? Everybody would have seen it because they like those actors, which I think the point would be that you have to go to see it because you like the characters more. And going with unknown actors, I think, is always the best option for these things. And I mean, I think honestly, if you look at it like this way, Carl Urban, out of all these people, is the only biggest known person. I've never heard of anybody else in this cast, for the most part, at least. Can read some of the reviews. There are 40 of them. This has 7.1 stars so far, which is, I guess that's not bad. And the first one is 10 out of 10. A great movie. Amazing film. I truly enjoyed watching it. It brought back so many memories and captured the spirit of the franchise perfectly. The characters were written exceptionally well, with strong performances and emotional moments that felt genuine and impactful. This is finally the kind of movie fans have been waiting for and absolutely deserve. I definitely love to see a sequel sometime soon. You mean a third one, I guess. Because it feels like the beginning of something much bigger. Can't wait to see more from this franchise in the future. They are making the third one, I believe. That's good, though. Now, this being too positive and not focusing on any negatives could be fake. So we'll see. 8 out of 10, unashamedly entertaining. Johnny Cage is a washed-up 90s martial arts action film star living off the convention circuit. He is suddenly plunged into a real-life Mortal Kombat tournament. I have not seen either the 95 or 21 movies, but that did not stop me enjoying this one. The setup is very similar to Galaxy Quest, which is not a bad thing. Carl Urban is clearly having a blast hamming it up. The clip from Uncaged Fury is pitch perfect. The story manages to shoehorn in all of the classic phrases and finishing moves from the game without feeling completely forced. I hope that's true. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I am almost certainly overrating it, giving it an 8. But if you are looking for a fun and very self-aware movie, then this will fit the bill. 8 out of 10, definitely worth to watch. Then first movie, recommend to give it a try. Okay, well, I'll read some of it. Better than the first movie, awesome fight scenes, great joke, good jokes with references, better acting. Katana, Johnny Cage, Shao Kahn are very entertaining. Better scenery, but don't hype for plot. Fighting scenes are still slow for brutal fight, but objects are fast. All right. 7 out of 10, a fun ride, but still missing the mark. Now, let me start by saying I genuinely enjoyed this film. The visuals are stunning, the battle stage designs are remarkably faithful to the games, and the fight choreography has noticeably improved. More signature moves are making their way onto the screen, which is a huge win for longtime fans. The fights between the characters are intense, kinetic, and fun to watch. Out of 10, not worth the wait. Here we go. The film stars actors who can neither fight nor act, and it's directed by someone who can choreograph fight scenes. So there are only a few. The costumes are really bad and cheap. The story takes itself way too seriously and lacks character development, and it has no real connection to the video games, so avoid it or watch at your own risk. That's interesting. It says, Baraka stole the show. I just came here to say that Baraka stole every scene he was in, and I really hope he returns for Mortal Kombat 3, which has already been confirmed. The movie was a lot better and definitely better than the first one. If you're not into Mortal Kombat, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but if you are, the characters' fights and fatalities are awesome. Excited to see where they take the third one. And here are the Rotten Tomatoes for this film. 73 from the critics and less than 50 from the audience. Really? All right, so the first critics are Christy Puchko from Mashable give it a splat, saying the bar is in hell for video game movies, huh? Wow. Benjamin Lee from The Guardian gave it 2 out of 5 splats, saying treat it like a premium format blockbuster does not do a film like Mortal Kombat 2 any favors. Its junkiness, less charming and more distracting. A Street Fighter suddenly forced to go pay-per-view. What this? Megan Navarro from Bloody Disgusting gave it 2 out of 5 tomatoes, saying, with the stage setting and character introduction mostly out of the way, returning director Simon McCoy cuts right to the pulpy, gory chase as Earthrealm and Outworld champions scramble to prepare for a barrage of lethal battles and fan service. Wow. Well, if it seems like it's probably going to go the Deadpool and Wolverine route, whatever. So we'll see. But Deadpool and Wolverine worked because it was also funny. It has the humor part. This isn't supposed to necessarily be funny because it is more about fighting and all of that, I guess. But the humor is, I guess, welcomed. The audience says the movie lacked better writing, pacing, and character development, but the fights were straight gas. Definitely a better movie. From Christian L, 3.5 stars. Jay Sekomani gave it 5 stars, saying, this is a great movie. This is not only for the fans. The general audience will enjoy the movie as well. The fights are there, something. And Jorge Marvin D gave it 5 stars, saying, such a fun movie, would go back and see it again. Drew gave it 5 stars, saying the fights were straight out of the video game. I hope so. I always thought, if they did a video game, why can't there be floating, power-ups or the character's gun changes in the game? When you switch the character in the game, it just switches to the next thing, whatever. So they should do that in the movie. I think that would look so cool. Or the character's low on health. He's slouched, leaning over, and he gets a health whatever, and then he stands back up straight. That'd be so cool. Yeah, this guy says that, so hopefully that's true. And De Juan gave it 4 stars, saying a nice ride, some good fighting scenes, some comedy, gore, and the actual tournament. I enjoyed it. Here is one trivia. Greg Russo, who co-wrote Mortal Kombat in 2021, told Collider he sees the reboot as a trilogy, with the first film set before the tournament, the second film, this one set during the tournament, and the third film set post-tournament. That is so cool. They really need to read comments of these 2 movies and just take all of that and make an incredible third one, and not do fan service. Fan service also works in doing the thing correctly. That's fan service. Not the fans want, this guy, this versus that, or whatever, or this and that. Don't do that exactly. Maybe give them something like that, and satisfy them without going direct to fan service. I always love reading these, but the goofs for it. In Johnny Cage's film shows at the convention, he's an athletic young adult man, probably around 30 or so, but the movie carries a 1986 copyright. Carl Urban, who plays Cage, would have been 13 to 14 years old in 1986. Even more confusing is that an old martial arts video surfaces of Cage as an awkward-looking teen winning his first martial arts tournament in 1985. He couldn't have matured this much in 1 year, and even if he did, he wouldn't have been playing adult roles in Hollywood feature films in his teens. What? See, like that. Why don't the studios go back? They have their meeting. I'm sure they must have a meeting after everything's died down. They go, okay, let's have a meeting. Let's go over the numbers. Let's figure everything out. Let's read all the issues and fix it, right? And then one of the people in the meeting should go, well, where's the goofs guy? And then the guy goes, here. So, and he reads this off, and they go, oh, we didn't know that. Okay, we'll fix that for the next one. And they need to do that. And then for me, the goal would have to have positive trivia, right? And then 0 goofs, plot holes, or any of those things, anachronisms. All of those things need to go. And that should be the point of these meetings for the next movie, and then fix it. And down here is the budget. $68 million. I feel like it's gonna be 40 and 50 million domestic is what is being said for this film, and I think the first one made 84 million worldwide on a smaller budget during the pandemic. That was the thing. This movie had a real issue with the pandemic. It was released during the pandemic, technically, and this one should do better, I guess, maybe because I'm not sure if maybe everybody who missed it in the first one, seeing it in the theater, is wanting to see this on the big screen and with big speakers and all of that. So that is probably honestly like going to be part of the people who missed it the first time. They're going to be probably the main, audience, besides, the game people, of course, but everybody who missed the first one, or I don't know what they did, if they allowed people to see it at the theater. They did after a while. I'm not sure when this came out. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I'm assuming that this would have done better if released before or after, right, the pandemic. They should release it again and see how it would do. They should have done that. They should have released the first one last week or the week before, and then this one. That would have been pretty cool. So I guess basically, it's probably going to do well. I think Carl Urban and Johnny Cage, I think that's going to be the main issue with this film. Maybe as well as the plot. I don't know. We'll see. Just like Super Mario Brothers and the other one, they just couldn't do a plot, I guess. I don't know why. I do think that because the $68 million budget, it's a little high. It looks like this will flop with $55 million domestically, 55 internationally, I guess. But this will be coming to top 5, but definitely the top 10. Okay, and the next film we can check out is The Sheep Detectives. And here is the trailer on YouTube. It has 9 million views It doesn't look amazing for this film. It has a low budget of apparently 65 to 82 million, something like that. And it needs to make 150 to 200 million dollars worldwide. So we'll see if it could do it. This is from Amazon. This seems so random though, doesn't it? Like such an odd film, but with Hugh Jackman and a bunch of other people, like it should be fun. So yeah. All right, and here we go.
A person cannot be prosecuted twice for the same crime.
I know when Rodney Hollingshead was murdered, and I know who the real killer was.
No more. Go on. The mystery will be solved when I read the ending tomorrow.
Ah! Why would he stop there?
He was just about to say who the killer was.
The doctor did it. No way, genius. Oh, here we go.
Last night, something terrible happened. Our shepherd was murdered.
No!
George is dead?
Probably a heart attack. Not much of a story for you, I'm afraid.
Unless there's anything out of the ordinary.
Nope, I've looked everywhere. Around the caravan, underneath the caravan.
What about inside the caravan?
Worth a shot.
Lily, what will we do? George loved us. He read us dozens of these stories. We shall solve the crime.
I can't seem to face up to the fight.
You all think you're smart enough to solve a crime. Do you know what humans call stupid people who can't think for themselves?
Ducks!
Sheep!
He's talking about you.
I'm tense and nervous and I can't lie.
I'm George's lawyer. Mr. Hardy left $30 million. We have our motive.
Psycho killer.
The people in the will are always the suspect. Look around for a better window.
I'm going in.
Sheep.
What's that neighbor's truck doing here?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I want to bash it. I want to bash it so bad.
Stop! We've been over this. We don't bash things unless
there's a legitimate cause for bashing.
I'm George's daughter.
She was here that night.
I have a question. Do you have a boyfriend?
Oh.
That's a standard question.
Everybody follow me!
Are we lambs or are we rams?
The real world is more complicated than a book.
We're not scared.
Mappa, what is that?
I think it's a road.
But what is it made of?
Well, not grass, I can tell you that.
Okay. So that looks pretty funny. Heavy graphics. Heavy CG. Yeah, it looks pretty, I guess, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny, like, at first. It seems like the jokes are kind of simple, but I thought it was kind of funny. It looks... so Hugh Jackman isn't in it anymore? That's interesting. He's probably going to be there in memory, right? Wouldn't he? Yeah, he could be in it with memories or, you know, maybe old interviews, but that means, like, he would technically only be in it for the first 30 or so minutes until the big murder happens, which probably has to happen early. And here are some of the comments for this trailer or movie. So when you realize you'd rather watch a bunch of sheep solve a crime than another Disney remake. There you go. That's hilarious. This looks like something that we would have watched back in the 2000s and be nostalgic over. More remakes, no more sequels, no more superheroes, just wholesome Hugh Jackman movies. That's funny. And then Knives Out, but with no sheep. Oh, but with sheep. Knives Out, but with sheep. Okay, yeah, that's funny. And for a realistic animal CG, they managed to show the expression on the face, which the Lion King adaptation can't. Bravo, truly creativity is improving. That's pretty interesting. Maybe they did CG, or I'm sorry, what's it called? Motion capture. It's not a high budget. It said, what is it? 80-ish million. I don't know if you could do motion capture for that cheap, I think you have to do it on the level that James Cameron does it, but I mean, that would be interesting. The sheep are so expressive. I want to give them a hug. That's cool. This is something the teacher would put on in the 2000s when it's a rainy day out. Live action Shaun the Sheep is crazy. The chicken clucking to psycho killers, perfect. I love how more original stories are slowly making their way into theaters. We'll definitely be seeing this. Who should be cast in the movie? We need a huge jacked man. A huge jacked man. That's funny. Cheers Cinema right here. They use the infamous group Gasp stock sound effects in this trailer, not once but twice. I can't wait to watch this movie. Wow. And then the IMDb page for this movie. It is 1 hour and 49 minutes. PG, which, now that's pretty awesome. Like, finally, they have a movie that rated R, and they're all like cussing. They're all rude sheep, you know, they're, you know, whatever and stuff. And other animals, of course. But it's nice that they seem to are going like the family route, even though it's a little bit of a dark story, it seems. So, yeah, that's cool. And then it is animal adventure, bumbling detective, whodunit, action comedy, family mystery. The plot for the film is every night a shepherd reads aloud a murder mystery, pretending his sheep can understand. When he is found dead, the sheep realize at once that it was a murder, and they think they know everything about how to go about solving it. That's kind of cool because we always think our animals and pets can talk and hear us, you know, and then we make up what they can hear based off what they seem to be probably thinking and experiencing, you know. The other plot here, I guess it says that in this witty new breed of mystery, George, played by Hugh Jackman, is a shepherd who reads detective novels to his beloved sheep every night, assuming they can't possibly understand. But when a mysterious incident disrupts life on the farm, the sheep realize they must become the detectives. As they follow the clues and investigate human suspects, they prove that even sheep can be brilliant crime solvers. That's going to be so funny. I wonder how this is going to go and how this is going to end and what twist it's going to be. Is the twist that he didn't die and that he wakes up, he had a heart attack and he survived it and he returns because it's a family movie, maybe? Because it seems like they're going to interpret what happened wrong. It feels like they're going to interpret what happened incorrectly, and they're going to assume that he got killed when he just had a heart attack. And since it's like a family film, maybe that will be how this movie goes, rather than go in a dark way and the guy actually does die. The director is Kyle Balda. I don't think that I have heard of him at all. He is a BAFTA-nominated feature animation director. He's been working for 30 years with Illumination Entertainment and Pixar. He has worked on the films The Mask and Mars Attacks. That's pretty cool. And Jumanji, it seems. That's pretty awesome. Minions, Despicable 3, Madagascar, Escape to Africa. That's cool. Shrek the Hall, Shrek the Third, Monsters Inc. Wow. Chicken Run, Toy Story 2. God, this guy. Well, it's actually kind of ends here, but geez, these are big movies. A Bug's Life, dude, that is crazy. And then previous stuff, Minions, The Rise of Gru, Weenie, Competition, Minions, Forces of Nature, which actually got a 4.9 stars, which is interesting. The Lorax Banana, Orientation Day, visual effects for a lot. The Matrix Revolutions. Wow. Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, Stuart Little 2. Jeez, that's crazy. Jumanji, The Mask, and the Flintstones. Jesus, that is so cool. And it is written by two people. The first guy is Craig Mazin. I don't think I've heard of him either. He has done Chernobyl, The Last of Us, and Mythic Quest. Pretty cool. The Last of Us, 8.5 stars, 16 episodes. Mythic Quest, Chernobyl 9.3 TV miniseries, 5 episodes. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard of that. And then he's done the Huntsman, Winter's War. And he's also done The Hangover Part 3, which is pretty cool. And then Identity Thief, that was pretty funny. The Hangover Part 2, superhero movie, that was pretty funny. Scary Movie 4, Scary Movie 3, which is hilarious. That might be the best one, besides the first two. Senseless, Rocket Man. He is producing The Last of Us, I guess another season. Damage, Blackout Room, and Bambo. He has produced all of those same things. He's also acted in Countdown, Mythic Quest, you remember this superhero movie, and Scary Movie 4. He did the Saw villain. Wow. Oh, that's so funny. That's pretty cool. And then his upcoming stuff for writing is The Last of Us, 1 episode. Untitled Pirates of the Caribbean project. Wow, really? I heard they're doing that without Johnny Depp. Holy crap. So they're actually going to cast somebody as Captain Jack Sparrow? Who else could fit in to that role and like follow Johnny Depp and actually live up to him and try to do better, if not as good? That is almost impossible. That's going to be very, very difficult to do. Who could do that? Maybe they actually have casted Johnny Depp in it, like secretly or something. Or if Disney still owns it, they might have Johnny Depp, as like a cartoon character or whatever, like in the computer as a CG model, whatever. And they're just gonna do like an animated one, like Beowulf, and they're gonna make it look real with motion capture, like Avatar, and make it go that route, and then have Johnny Depp in it, but he's technically not in it. And then they probably could AI his voice and all of that, and then I don't know, pay him royalties or residuals or something to use his likeness, I would guess. Oh, this guy, has done all of that. That is pretty awesome. And the other writer involved, who I've never heard of either, which is weird because they've worked on all these big movies, like basically together, like they're literally co-workers, working on basically the same stuff. I guess technically it'd be bumping into everybody. Leonie Swan is the other writer. I bet you know what? This is probably the author of the book, which I think this is based off of. So let's see that. So he, based on the novel Three Bags Full. I think so. That was a working title. I think they were going to call it that, and I think they made a final decision with that. No one is really going to understand what this is about, so they had to change it and update it, kind of. I feel like this would basically, one of these could be a subtitle for the other. It could either be The Sheep Detectives 3 Bags Full or 3 Bags Full, The Sheep Detectives. So they could have kept it like that, and then it would have brought in the book readers alongside the new people, and it hit two birds with one stone, basically, and then everybody would have learned both names, and then it probably would have even helped them, people, the book sales, they probably would have gone and read the book, as well as those people, vice versa, doing the other thing. So it would have been probably a better thing to call it that. Like Thunderbolts is basically Thunderbolts New Avengers, or is it going to be New Avengers Thunderbolts? So, and it's going to have that subtitle thing forever. That's literally that movie, which I think this one could have done that because it did that. So here's a cast. I am very surprised that not many people are even talking about anybody else. I think that Hugh Jackman is such a big star, and he's technically in it. You see him. That he basically overshadows everyone else. Because it's like, oh, we're watching a Hugh Jackman movie, but it seems like he's only in it for like the first, I'm going to say less than 30 minutes until the big thing happens. unless there's a twist and he's in it again at the end, or in it during it with flashbacks. But and then no one else knows that these people are even in it. I mean, Bella Ramsey from whatever I just read, The Last of Us, she's in it. You know, she's moving into voice acting and doing some of that, which is great. And then Bryan Cranston is in it. His voice is very iconic. If you saw Isle of Dogs, he plays whatever, Rex or someone. He's very good in that. Julia Louis-Dreyfus too she is in another movie. I think she's in Animal Farm. I think she's actually in that one too, which that's hilarious. It was probably definitely a hookup from the manager or somebody was like, hey, I can get you in 2 voice actor roles in 2 movies that are coming out near each other. Do you want to do it? And she's probably like, yes. They're probably even in the same studio. That's probably like the best part about that. And it does seem to have some unknown actors in it too. So maybe in comparison to Animal Farm, it really doesn't have that many big people in it because, I mean, these people are moderately big. Bryan Cranston is very well known. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, her voice is very iconic. Or you know what I mean? You could definitely pick her out. And Bella Ramsey, this is going to test her voice acting role, whatever. I think maybe, and then Regina Hall, she's from Scary Movie, I believe, right? So, I mean, like, she definitely has a big following and all that, and that people really know her, and she has a very iconic voice. So that's pretty cool. And the new movie's coming out, Scary Movie 6. So that's really good. She's kind of making her way back, or you know what I mean. Maybe she'll be in something else too. And then Patrick Stewart, he worked with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Professor X, and he's going to be reprised, or both reprising their role in the upcoming film. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm thinking maybe Hugh Jackman is in it later, like, voice only. Maybe he's there again and as a character or something, or as a ghost. I don't know if they're going to go that far. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have a lot of stars in comparison to Animal Farm, which looks like it's like entirely all stars, like the people with the biggest following right now. And then the user reviews are only 5. So PG Knives Out. That's funny. I wonder if 5 reviews right now, that doesn't look good. I feel like, what's really hilarious? They are really marketing this. And they're marketing it in the way of like, with all the funny posters, they're like sheepifying them, really. I don't know if it's real. I think it is. They did Dead Wool and Wolverine, and they're having fun like that. This has 5 reviews. The first one is 6 out of 10 stars. The sheep steal the show in an investigation that's more entertaining than it should be. The film seemed to have come straight out of a what could possibly go wrong list. CGI sheep, a somewhat lost star-studded cast, and a premise that sounds too strange to work. And for a good few minutes, it really does seem that way. But then the film flips the script. You accept the premise, and before you know it, you're following an investigation led by a bunch of charismatic sheep who completely steal the show. Seriously, you start out wanting to see the mystery and end up wanting more screen time for them. And the police plot follows a well-trodden path, but it works precisely because of this unusual dynamic. Meanwhile, the humans are just there, somewhat on the sidelines, as if the film knew who really matters. In the end, it delivers light humor and an engaging investigation and still finds room for a surprisingly emotional ending. Who would have thought it was the sheep who would carry the whole thing on their backs? Well, that sounds pretty real and like not a robot or whatever, like a bot. So that's good. I don't know. It doesn't look like really bad, and I don't see how it could be really bad, but I don't see how this could. I feel like it could be amazing because if it does keep like a sad edge to it. If not, it's got to be like at least like fun, like in the middle, average. So hopefully that's what this is sounding like. So we'll see what this one says, which is 3 out of 10. Nothing here. After seeing the trailer, this absolutely looked like our sort of film. But we booked to see this and looked forward to seeing this. What a shock. It failed to engage completely. A cast of over-the-top, idiotic, pantomime characters. I believe the director has churned out something he thought would be amazing. Sadly not. Hugh Jackman was smart and got out pretty sharpish. An unlikable character, which was strange. Most of the other characters were just poor jokes. People portrayed as comedically useless at their given jobs. The sheep did not lighten the film and failed to shine in contrast to the human cast. In my opinion, this is a missed opportunity as something wonderful should or could have been made. Something I just thought of is that I think that not everybody is cast as the animals. They're also actors like in live action. Like I think Emma Thompson is in it. I don't know. I thought I saw her. Maybe not. So even if they're not like as the animals, like Animal Farm has every cast, every role is a celebrity, right? But this one is not that. It's more half and half on top of it not being everybody a celebrity. But the other cast people, I think they're playing live, like actual people, not just the animals. So maybe Hugh Jackman plays a double role. Maybe they're doing two roles, a human and an animal role. This one is 8 out of 10 stars. PG, Knives Out. This is what every kid's movie should strive to be. See, that's funny. I hope they read these and just learn from this. Post these on the wall in the writer's room. And when they write their movies, keep this in mind, and then all the movies will do well. This says from the trailers, I could tell this was going to be an incredibly good time, and it didn't disappoint in the slightest. A great whodunit with an even better premise. I'm not usually crazy about the CGI talking animals, but this film does that just about perfectly. The cast is incredible, and Hugh Jackman is something else here. Just so unabashedly wholesome. If you have the time, or young and old people in your life, because anyone is going to have a blast with the sheep detectives. See, that makes sense too. I'm getting that feeling. 10 out of 10, better than expected, better than I expected because it is more serious in its storytelling than the comedy-based trailer. Loved the humanity aspect, be that of the humankind or the sheep viewpoint. The Agatha Christie fan in me was very absorbed in trying to guess who done it. I can appreciate why Rotten Tomatoes top critics gave it top rating, absorbing as human drama even if seemingly a whimsical English crime story in a quaint village. Definitely as overwhelming as the staged war horse in its artistry, given it was the work of the same group. Wow. Okay, well this, gosh, this all sounds really good. I hope it does well. It's not going to perform well financially, but I think this is going to be one of those sleeper films, like how the Shawshank Redemption turned out. I think this is going to be one of those films that, hey, this is actually really good, And then one day when they're able to show it again at the theater, again, it'll do well. It'll be, hey, the Sheep Detectives is getting a re-release at the theater, and then everyone who missed it or whatever, who enjoyed it the first time, we can go see it again or the first time. 10 stars, what an amazing film for everyone. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we'll go on to the Rotten Tomatoes stuff now. Okay, so these are the Rotten Tomatoes results for this so far. 97% from the critics. Oh, really? If it has a story, the other thing is like character arcs, like if the Rams, maybe they learn their character arc is to not ram, simple. But there's something that like they all have a problem and they overcome it, and at the end they all learn and they become better animals, or whatever. So we'll see. And then the X Factor, which seems like this could have some type of X Factor, like some type of sweetness, some type of cuteness to it. Something like we all love animals and we all have pets. So this could really do well with that. I feel like right now, all these movies maybe underperform because people are tight on money in a way. You know what I'm saying? And so they pick and choose. So maybe in the next week or two, this movie will do a little bit better. Hopefully, eventually, it will make up its money though. I'm assuming it has to make 150 to 200 million, and I think it could do that in at least a week or two. You know, and which that could definitely happen. The critics are saying Nell Minot from RogerEbert.com gave it 4 out of 4 tomatoes, saying it is accessible enough for younger viewers without condescending to them, yet complex enough to engage an adult audience. Kind of funny right now that out of the 2 animal movies, I think this one is getting better, you know, whatever. People are saying better things about this than Animal Farm. Keith Phipps from The Reveal gave it 3.5 out of 5 tomatoes, saying it is a lively but also lovely kids film about what happens when you can't just be a kid anymore. Wow. Well, now that's funny. Maybe it is kind of young adult-ish, you know? And Harry Steiner from Empire Magazine gave it 3 out of 5 tomatoes, saying these funny detectives are no Hercule Poirot, I guess that's a tough, I don't know. But this eclectic, well-voiced herd takes on the case with enough earnestness to make a yarn worth telling. Let's see, and that's enough. It seems good on there. So, and then no audience. Wow, no audience reviews. We can go down here and see if there's a budget or anything. Or actually, we could read a trivia maybe. No interesting ones. Just this though. The crazy credits. A sheep bleeding takes the place of Leo the Lion's Roar in the Metro Goldwyn Mayer logo. That's so cool. And then down here, we can check out this. So, 113,000 worldwide. So, yeah, overall, I guess so far, 113. No, I mean, that's almost there. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna kind of flop here, but it'll do well. So it'll eventually turn out fine, which is pretty good. I'm gonna say that I think this is gonna be a sleeper. If people can't see it in the theater, I feel like it'll do better on streaming, or you know, eventually. Just because if the story does live up to what the critics are saying, it will definitely do well for that reason. I do like that it is an hour and 49 minutes, and it is PG. It gives it some room to do kind of a light, dirty joke, kind of, sort of, but it doesn't cut out everything, but it's not rated R, which is nice. So I do think that the Sheep Detectives will flop with 30 million domestically, maybe 20 million internationally. Overall, I think that it will, flop for the first week or two, and then it'll definitely do well after. And I do feel like this will maybe possibly be in the top 15, but maybe top 20. Okay, so I think that Mortal Kombat is in a much stronger spot. The budget is $6 to $8 million. The opening projection set at 40 to 50 million domestically. That should be good. I think that it will perform better than the last one because the last one had the pandemic issue and all that. The trailer looks pretty good, I guess. It looks like it's not going to have kind of a story or whatever, I guess. I don't know. It looks like the main issue might be Johnny Cage and Carl Urban. That might be the final, the real issue for the film. I think that it will probably do better than the last one. I think that the fans are liking this a little bit more. The first one had other issues also. This is looking like the game. The graphics look amazing, like I said. I do think at first this will flop with $55 million domestically. And then it probably will be, and then it'll do better eventually in the upcoming weeks. And it will definitely be in the top 10, if not the top 5. And the Sheep Detective looks very entertaining. I don't know how it's really going to perform. It looks good. I think that if it is because the Animal Farm is out and the studios literally just timed this release to be, now, because I already said that. It looks like they said, hey, pull that script for that sheep movie out. Animal Farm's going to be released from some studio called Angel Studios, whatever. So that might be why this exists. The CG animals look very intense. I think it's fine. Less famous people than Animal Farm. it looks like it's going to be very sweet and a very good family film. And if it doesn't do well at first, it could probably end up doing well, definitely on streaming. I think that this is nice that it is PG, so that, you know, everybody can basically go and see it. The production of it, or the budget, is $65 million or more. It might be 80 million. It needs 150 to 200 million worldwide to break even. Current predictions are soft, maybe 10 to 20 million opening weekend and 40 to 75 million domestic total. I do think this is going to flop with 30 million domestic, and it will be in the top 15. Okay, so here are the current box office results, or not, I mean the current box office. I don't know how the current films are going to stack up against these. I think that, I already said, I think that Mortal Kombat, if it's not, if it could be in the top 10, but that, I don't know about top 5. That's a tough one. It could, I feel like top 10 is a good enough guess for that one, because it has to go up against, it could do better than The Devil Wears Prada 2. But it also has to perform better than Project Hail Mary and the Super Mario Galaxy movie. We'll see if, yeah, I mean, they should do good. I don't know. It's a mix of competition, honestly. Like, Animal Farm is just going to drop more. That one's not going to hold up. Deep Water. Lee Cronin's A Mummy. I guess it technically sucked. No, I don't know. It didn't do that well. And, yeah, so, yeah, I think, yeah, Mortal Kombat will be that. The Sheep Detectives, I think, will be in the top 10. Definitely, maybe right there, 7th place. Around there, maybe 8. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see how these films turn out on Monday. Thing that is kind of funny is that Hokum and Animal Farm have both been out for 3 days, and Hokum has less theaters, but it made more money than Animal Farm, which has double, well, I guess double the theater, kind of. And it made half. That's funny. Even though like Animal Farm is in more places, less people saw it. And then Hokum, which is in less theaters, more people saw that movie. That's pretty funny. Averaging, or theater average, is that $3,410 per theater, I guess? Interesting. And then, yeah, Deep Water has roughly the same, less theaters. The Slime movie has 837 theaters, so that's also why. But see, I don't know. I guess it's I don't know. They should have internationally. You know, that Slime movie did really well. It did like 6 million, so that's good. And yeah, overseas that movie. Well, but it's, imagine seeing that in the big theater and you're a fan of anime. And then down here is Fuse. That's and Mother Mary, which I guess it didn't work. I guess whatever. Very weird though. It looked very good. Can't wait to kind of check it out and see like, yeah, what it's about. Anyway, so yeah, those are all these are the current box office, and we'll see on Monday how they're gonna turn out. But that's gonna be so interesting. And that wraps up this episode of Mike on Mike. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you to iMDB, the numbers, and RottenTomatoes.com. Leave a comment down below about what you thought, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.